All right, welcome to class today. This is the making of a Mako slippers. We call this belt. This is a belt. So I'll be making these Mako slippers with this belt. So just watch how I'm going to be doing. This is called the insole. This insole is gotten through. We just picked up a slide that we love the shape, and we drew the insole out. So, but if you want to do a freehand insole sketching, you can decide to do that yourself for any shape that you want. Just a freehand sketching by yourself, and to bring out the shape. What I mean by freehand sketching is that you decide to draw it around by yourself on a piece of paper until you get the exact shape. But I personally don't like doing that because there are a lot of shapes, more than 1 million shapes around, and I don't need to start stressing myself in doing that all over and over again. So the first thing we're going to be doing is to mark this insole out on the Mako. This is Mako called Mako insole. Mako insole. Look at it. This, and there are different types of Mako insole, different designs. They are plain. They are designs like this. I love the design. The customer love this, and that's why I want to make use of it. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to mark it out gently like this. So look at the way I'm placing it. Please take note. Look at the way I'm placing it. It's very important that you take note. And I'm going to be marking it. To mark it, I'm going to get my marker because this is a black surface, so I need a marker that will make this. All right, so to mark this, we're going to use our marking pen. This is my marking pen. It allows my the pattern to show very well on the marker or on the black surface majorly. So most times that's what I use. We can see it where you can see that this is showing. So if you now want to, this is the left leg because this, remember that this is the surface where the legs will be stepping on. So this is what I did. If I should mark this like this, when I turn it, it will turn to left leg. Do you understand? So if I'm going to mark the right leg, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this upside down like this. Can you see? Turn it upside down like this. And that's how we're going to be marking it. So it's very important that you note this because if you don't note, you can mark the same leg twice and that will not be cool at all. So remember that we have both the right leg and the left leg. Depending on whichever one you mark first, whether you mark right first or you mark left first. Remember that for this place, I marked left leg first. So when I turn this like this, it's going to be right leg. But if I was using this face, for instance, I was using this face as my instep, this will have been the right leg and this will have been the left leg. But I'm not using this side as my instep. I'm using this side as my instep. And so I'm marking it at the back. That's what it means. I'm marking this. This is at the back. This is the main face. So this turning upside down will be a left, and this turning upside down will be right. I'm sure you get that. So the next we're going to be doing is to cut it out. We're going to be cutting out on the line. And when cutting, your hand has to be straight. Now, talking about cutting, this scissors is the scissors I use for my leather works. I use the blunt one for Nora, Mako, and I use the sharp one for leather. So we have what we call the leather scissors, and we have what we call the Nora or Mako scissors. Don't use the same leather that you use to cut Mako to cut your leather or Nora. This is my leather scissors, for instance. This is my leather scissors. I don't use the same thing for this. I use this one to cut leather. I use this one to cut art faces, cardboard. But this is strictly for leathers and nothing else. So when it goes blur, I get another one. But I don't use leather scissors to cut art surface like Nora, Mako, or any other thing. You have to take note of that. So that your scissors is expected to be 100% sharp. That's very important. So let's keep cutting. So you cut it, hold your scissors firmly, and you don't break while cutting. Please note that you don't break while cutting. You cut like this. That's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make. Because when they're cutting, this is one of the things that they do. Mistake. Be like, if you cut it, break it. No, you don't break while cutting. When you're cutting, put the scissors in the place you want to cut and take it out around once till you get to the tip. Then you stop. Go inside again. Go again. You stop. Go inside, cut again. You stop. That's how you be going. Don't be breaking all the time. No. Can you see? Get there. Can you see? So this is how it's going to be when you cut. So this is what we're going to have for our instep. Can you see the inside? This is the inside. Okay, so we're going to be cutting out the other leg out also. All right, so let's keep cutting. Keep cutting. Pay attention to your cutting. Please, it's very important that you pay attention while cutting. Don't allow anything to distract you while cutting. Most of the time while cutting, I try to abandon every other thing I'm doing. And because I want the cutting to be very straight. Now, there's a cutting machine that has patterns that you can use to cut instead of doing all this. But if you would love to get a cutting machine, fine. But this aspect, you have to cut with your hand for this if you're not using the machine. So once we finish cutting, What we're having is we're going to be having now we have the left leg and we have the right leg. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to put them together. We're going to insert nail in the middle. Then we're going to take it to the filing machine to file. Why do we want to file it? We want the both of them to be very even. We want it to be equal. We want it to be even. So we're going to file this round for the both markers to be exactly the same. Remember that the shoes have to be exactly the same. So that's what we'll be doing. Now you can pick up once you pick up the nail, this is the tack nail that I'm using. The tack nail, just the tack nail I'm using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this is gets into the edge. I'm going to make sure that the tack nail penetrates into it and it's coming out here. Can you see? Can you see it's coming out here? So I've penetrated the tack nail has gone inside. Then I'll come here also, do the same thing. Make sure that the tack nail goes inside and the tack nail comes out from here. So if you want to do it for the middle, you can also do it for the middle. So this is all we're going to be having, as you can see. So we'll take the filing machine to file. So while we do that, before we do that, let's measure the upper for the slippers. Now this slippers is coming as a cross design. This is how the design is going to be. And the slippers is a size 46 slippers. Size 46 slippers. So these are the designs going to be. So you measure this. This last itself is a last 45 last. Okay, let me raise the camera up for you to see a little bit. Okay, so it's the last 45 last. So I'm going to use it to do a slippers of size 46. I have a big size 46 47 slippers last. I can decide to use that also, but I just want to show you that you can also use size 45 to make size 46 slippers. So this is it. I think we are good. These allowances here are the ones that will enter into the insole. So as I'm extending it, and it's better for it to be a bit long than for it to be short. That's what I always tell most of my students. Whenever you're cutting, it's better for it to be long than for it to be short. So we're going to be having this crossing each other like this, and like this. So that's like a times like this and like this. So two of these will serve for one. Two of these will serve as a pair each, which making, when you count one after the other, is making 4 in total. So you start folding them like this. Start folding them like this. So they can be equal. And here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, then 4. So then now we can cut. We can cut. So this is when we cut out, this is what we're going to be having. So this is what we're going to be having for the 3. Okay, so this is how the design is expected to come out. These are the design is expected to come out. Can you see now? I'm sure you know those kind of slippers like this. These are the design is expected to come out once we are done. So I haven't cut this one, so let me just cut it out. So we'll be going to the filing room to file this one I told you about, just the edges around. Another thing you can do to this, if you see that they're still open in here, what you can do is for it to be very, you can put a light gum. The reason why I like putting gum is because this is a Mako. If you know you're not ready to file, don't put the gum, please. But if you know you're ready to file, you can just put the gum lightly and quickly file what you want to file, then you open it back immediately, because Mako is a very soft material. Once you apply gum in it and you gum those things together, if you do not open it immediately, it will get glue, and once you want to open it, then it's going to be difficult and it can be tearing apart. So those are the things that you need to note when you're working. Since I know I'm going to be going to file it immediately, so let's just put, because I see, because I folded the Mako before, so it's not really lapping very well. So I just need to do is just put light gum at the edges, just only at the edges. Light gum at the edges. Can use your brush to spread it around. Light gum at the edges. So it's going to help us hold the Mako together. So just at the edges, as you can see what I'm doing. I'm not really putting much gum. So I'm gonna spread it a little. So you can watch this video over and over again so that you can understand it properly. In case, just rewind, and whatever question that you have, please reach out to me. Definitely, I would answer you. So we can going to match it together. So you'll see the difference of what I'm talking about now. This time around, there'll be no opening around, beside. You can use the both method. Either you use nail, you just hold it. Most times I use nail. I don't really use gum, because I'm always on the go, so I don't really have time to be using gum round. So This is it. Can you see that this one holds firmly? But what the only thing is that I have to go and file this immediately as soon as possible so that it will not glue together and become